This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Let's see. Hopefully I am live. Am I? Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. Looks like I got volume. All right, I'm going to move this over here. All right. So, in a nutshell, hope everybody's doing all right. I was up late last night agonizing over whether the Seahawks could win, and they won pretty easily. It was one of the first. It doesn't happen very often, okay, because my teams suck, okay, that on the same night I had three teams going that are my favorite. I had Manchester United. They were playing Manchester City, okay. It's usually a guaranteed loss. It wasn't that like that in the old days. I had the Toronto Maple Leafs playing the Winnipeg Jets, okay? And then in the divisional round of football, I had the Seahawks against the 49ers, who have just been gritty, tough, all those things that you expect from a very well-coached and very good team. And something's got to give, okay? I never had those nights where everybody wins out. Well, I start off in the morning, and I said, if I have to have a win, it's got the number one, it's got to be the Seahawks. All right, number two would be Toronto, and the last thing would be Manchester United, because the season's kind of in turmoil. Well, the day started off with a 2-0 win over Manchester City, and boy, did they look impressive. Okay, which you can never figure out, the stupid team. And I went, uh-oh, okay, so what's going to give? Is it going to be the Maple Leafs? Well, I agonize all day. We go run some errands. I go take care of some things. As a matter of fact, I'll show you what I went and took care of as a matter of fact. And I come home. My wife does some things with my mother-in-law, and what's that? Virus threat and protection. Oh, always trying to sell me something. I finally get ready. I don't even eat because I just didn't want to eat, because my nerves were shot. Yeah, over sports, right? And the Maple Leafs start first, and they look horrible. They look half asleep, and of course it's wrenching my gut because I can't stand when they play poorly. If they play really well and they get beat, you can almost live with it. Like the other night, they got killed 6-1, okay, to the Mammoth, and but they just got through playing Colorado, and the night before, and the Mammoth, it was a schedule loss more than anything else, and I was kind of, I was okay with it. I lived with it. I didn't watch the highlights or anything, but you could live with that. And then you lose to the Golden Knights in OT when you had the game won and they tied up with 7 seconds left. That hurt. It didn't bother me because they played pretty well. And one of the guys got hurt during the game, so it kind of threw everything off. And you've got to be really good to play the Western Conference this year. So I was okay with it. So they're playing badly, and that just drives me insane. Then the Seahawks come on. And the first play of the game, the guy runs it back for a touchdown. And I went, okay, this is good. But then they go up 17-0, and I go, uh-oh. I go, when we go up this much, you know, the way the bookies control everything, and, you know, everything is, you know, scripted, I think, in some ways, they'll come back. And San Fran starts marching down the field. They get a field goal. Then they get another field goal. And it's 17-6. And then on the other side, it's 3-1. Okay, going into the third period. And I'm like, oh boy, Niners are going to come back. And then here comes the 49ers. Well, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Maple Leafs tie it up, and then the Seahawks open up a pretty good lead. Now I'm feeling a little bit better about everything. I go, okay, at least if we can get a point out of this. We get a point out of this. And then, you know, I'm getting tired. Because it's around 10 o'clock, and I can't stay up like I used to. Especially when I was agonizing all day. It really tires you out. So we tie it up, we go into overtime. Maple Leafs win. I go, oh no. Not the Seahawks. Not after you got the number 1 seed. Do not be one and done. I go, I can understand losing in the championship conference, but not that day, right? Nah, they opened up a huge lead, and the 49ers were just physically too beat up. And you got to commend them for just, you know, fighting as hard as they did. But they were definitely outclassed this night. So 41-6, you know, that felt pretty good. So I said, okay, I'm going to bed. And slept pretty good. But I got up in the middle of the night. Usually I have a hard time sleeping. But I got up in the middle of the night and I went, all right, let me think. What do I want to do today? Because I got tomorrow off. So I knew I was going to come on, and I was trying to figure out. Now, you know, that I got a few days. I really wanted to figure out what I was going to do with the channel, you know, how we're going to go forward. Okay. So the first thing is you're going to see a bunch of tests. I'm going to start testing some stream stuff. Okay. We're going to try to figure this out and how we can stream. And then I think February 1st, I'm going to start the first phase. And what I mean by that is February 1st, instead of our usual, you know, sit down and talk, I'm going to try to stream an entire game. Well, not the entirety, but, you know, we're going to start something, and we're going to try to, on February 1st, we're going to try to start streaming at least twice a week to start. Okay? And I want to start simple. Matter of fact, this week at some point, I went up to the Bearded Brown Coat, which we were up in Ocala, and I needed a box for my Warhammer quest cards because I want to separate everything and get everything all squared away. So I went and I got this box, and they had the clearance thing, and I go, I know I got this game, but I don't think I have the basis loaded version. And this game normally was $60, but they had it for $20, and it had everything in it. So, baseball highlights 2045. So I kind of want to start testing some things, and I think I'm going to try something real simple, like a nice little playthrough with this game. And because you could play it solo, and you know, each game takes about 4 to 7 minutes to play. All right, and you could play it, you know, as a series and stuff like that. Never forget, I played played in a tournament with Mike Fitzgerald and my friend Berkey. And it was, I forgot which convention was that. I think it was, oh God, I forgot what it was. I think it was Origins. But I met Mike Fitzgerald, and he's the guy that created this game, and I said, it's a pleasure to meet you, but he goes, I know who you are. I watch you all the time. And that kind of, I felt real good about that. And the thing was, he goes, why don't you join us for a tournament? We need one more player. I go, yeah, sure, I'll play. And I hadn't, I played the game, but I never played in a tournament format. And I think I played it like twice at that point. Now, this is going back some years. And I made it all the way to the finals. And we played a 7-game series. It was tied 3-3. And it came down to the last card. Okay? The last card. And I either had to take the card from my reserves or use my final card. And I decided to use my final card. If I used the card from my reserve, I would have won the tournament. And I think you would have won. I would have won some extra expansions for the game or something, or the game itself. I forgot what it was, but I came in second, and I never really played the game. And the guy that won, played it like a million times, and I was like, hey, not bad. That was a pretty good showing. See, but the loss still stays with me. You know, that's the thing. It's good. There's no participation prizes. You got to get there. So I was pretty thrilled, and so now I have 2 editions of this, and the auction that we're going to do, I'm going to put one in with, I believe it has some expansions in it, but I like the nicer box, so I'm going to keep this one. And for $20, I got that in. So I'm going to do a couple things with this. I did get something for, and then the next thing I want to try is a little more detailed, and that is going to be including this, yes, which just came to my house, the Plum Island Horror, which this is the expansion for it. I have Plum Island Horror up there, but they sent me another copy, so I'm going to be putting that into the auction, which is pretty cool. And I've got a bunch of other stuff that I've been sent and stuff like that, and this one's going to be a little different, that's for doggone sure. Went to Ollie's yesterday. Got some cool stuff. Let's see. Matthew says, good morning. Your Seahawks killed it last night, 41-6. Yeah. I would like to see more 4AD and Hero Quest playthroughs. Yeah, I think once I get things set up and once I'm able to purchase some of the stuff I need, we'll get into those more detailed playthroughs. But I'm hoping that we can get to do that in February, where we can maybe do the beginning of a game live and then tape the rest. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I grew up a Seahawk fan from the start in '75. Same here. Haven't watched the NFL an NFL game since Russell Wilson threw an interception. Oh, that made all I want is just one more championship to make up for that, because they were robbed with the Steelers, which was which they call the most crooked game ever. Okay, because how many bad calls and how much bullshit it was, like Bill Cowher, some great coach. No, he isn't. That's why I can't watch CBS and listen to him, because he didn't win that game. The refs won that game. And I understand losing, and honestly, we won. We won the next one, and then the year after, we lost that game, but it's our own fault. We shot ourselves in the foot, or throwing the ball. Stupid. What was it? It was second down. It was second down, and we throw the ball, and we have a timeout in our pocket. It was stupid. I think they were trying to maximize. I forgot the excuse that they made, but it was the stupidest thing. And with all those people right there, it was the stupidest route to run. It was so dumb. And then there was pass interference on it on top of it. But again, haunts my memories. I can't even watch that. I can't watch that play. But these Hawks, they're in the championship game. If we could just get one more Super Bowl, I'll be happy. I can die a peaceful life. But we'll see. We'll see. And then if the Maple Leafs can just get a Stanley Cup, Jesus, 1967. I was a small lad. That was the last time. Didn't even start paying attention to hockey until the 70s. But we've always had weird things happen to us. Weird team. What can I tell you? But Maple Leafs forever. Yeah, so we got that going on. I started a bunch of reviews. I'm trying to get all my Warhammer Quest cards in line, getting things ready. We're going to be doing that. Hero Quest, 4 Against Darkness, D100, League of Dungeoneers through, we're going to start all these projects this year. And I said it, I'm determined, but we got to take baby steps. And if we can just raise enough money to finish off this project and get everything where we need to do, I'm doing one last auction. If we do it, we do it. If we don't, we don't. And that's the way I feel about it. But we got a lot of stuff. I've got that giant game stick from X Arcade. Go take a look at it. They're usually like $500. I think I'm gonna put one of those up because I got 2 of them. I've got I got some emulators I might put up. Really weird stuff I'm gonna put up. I got another 5. Let me tell you, the guy that won the comic book lot for 200, he won it for $250. All right, he got a 150 count box full of stuff. Just 2 books in there were worth 200. It was $225. I was looking at it. I go, wow, that's $225. Then I started looking at the rest of the stuff. It was almost like there had to be about $800 to $900 worth of stuff in there. But that's okay. Fuck your Maple Leafs. It's all about the Dallas Stars. Well, Matthew, if that's the way you feel, good for you. And what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I'm really I'm thinking I have a painted version of Cthulhu Death May Die. I just don't think I'm ever going to play it. And I might put Black Plague with it, as well as the expansion for it. Because the only Zombicide I really care about is Night of the Living Dead. I'm kind of over the whole CMON thing. So I think I might put that as a lot. I do have an actual photography camera which is worth $1,000, but I just can't. It doesn't work for me as far as streaming. And it's one of those really good Sony A6400s that are almost like collector items because people love them. And I may put that up. It's going to be a real mishmash type of thing. You know, we're just trying to get over the top here. So it's going to be all kinds of different stuff, from video games to comic books to board games. I think you should keep the Night of the Living Dead. You painted that in gray so well. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of that. That's the only one I'm keeping. I'm keeping that. You know, as far as zombie games, I think there's kind of only 3 I care about. Night of the Living Dead, my giant zombie box, which I have over there. Have you guys ever seen that? Hold on. And of course, Night of the Zeds. My boy Herman Lutman, who's doing another edition. I told him, you know, I never asked anything of you, Herman. I go, but you know something? I got to be one of the dudes in that game because I love that game so much. Yeah, I was kidding with him, of course. And he laughed. He goes, "No, I'll put you in there." He put me in Plum Island Horror, so, you know, I can't say much. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, here it is. Oh, let me get in this thing. I'll be putting some roll and write stuff, rad zones, you know, in there. But I had gotten this a while ago. I really like this version of Twilight Creations presents Zombies, the Ultimate Collector Box. And this thing I thought was just cool, you know, because it just came with everything. Hold on here. Oh yeah, I mean, you have enough bullets in here to last you a lifetime. Came with a CD for a soundtrack that you could play while you're playing. I might do this one time. What do we got in here? There's so much stuff in here. I don't want to just start ripping up Zombie 4, Zombie 13, Zombie 11, Dead Time Stories, Scenario Book. I should do this one time. This is so good. Hold on, I want to look through this a little bit. Age of Ammonia, I was surprised didn't go, so now I've made it a personal vendetta to, heart. You get all these things, bullets. You get more bullets than you'll ever need in a lifetime. Let me take off this top here. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Yep. I don't think I've ever played the whole thing. And you get more zombies than you'll ever need in your life. I couldn't imagine painting all these guys, no. And this game is so good that I think you only need to paint the heroes. But it's all separated by, you have, like, what you're going to play. You pull out the little tray and you play that. And it's all in order. Is this the original one? Okay, yeah, Zombies 3rd edition. Starts here. Yep, with this one. It's kind of your end-all, be-all. And your tiles. Then you would go to Zombies 2. Zombies, of course. You've got your rules here. Then Zombies 3, Mall Walkers. 4, The End. 5, School's Out Forever. 6, 6 Feet Under. 7, Send in the Clowns. Oh, this is the one with the clowns. 8 is Jailbreak, which is another good one. And then it has another layer underneath, of course. Just so good. This is, and no, it's not the most high quality game in the world, But as far as fun, I mean, isn't that what it's all about? Do we have to have $1 million components? Let's put this back on top. I will never get rid of this because this was hard to get. Now you probably find it on eBay for nothing. I know it's out of print. That's for sure. I think it is. Let's see, what else is there on here? Okay, so 6 feet under, I said. 6.66, fill in the blank. Then you have Zombie 7, send in the clowns. Jailbreak, which is 8. Ashes to Ashes is 9. Feed the Addiction, which is 10. Zombies, Death Inc. is 11. Zombies 12, Zombie Zoo. Zombie 13, which is DEFCON Z. Space Bites, which is 14. And then 15, Another One Bites the Dust. I'm Dying of Thirst and Zombies. Jeez. Also includes Bag O' Bullets, Bag O' Hearts, the official zombie board game soundtrack from Midnight Syndicate, plus hundreds of zombies, humans, dogs, clowns, kids, office workers, and more. Ooh, this is split on the side. Zombie Corpse, which is the army, which is one of my favorites. So, do you know, the thing about this is you look at this game, this is one of the ultimate zombie games as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know how we got into this, but we did. But, I mean, cool mini or not with Zombicide was good. But then when you beat it to death the way they did, you know, I mean, you could say the same thing here in a bit, but I don't know. There's something about this game that I just, you know, you have Kickstarters with 9 million things. This is just a little box. Set it up, play, pray you survive. Good luck. All right, let me put this back over there. Let me put this back over there. Oof. Kind of like my final girl set, you know, and my Arkham Horror. You know, those are my big horror games. And then everything else is kind of whatever. I'm getting down, you know, we're going to have one more good one, and then I think that's where we're gonna hold it. So, I'll start it late in the week, and we'll let it run to early next week. And that's the way we're going to play that. Resistance. I'm just looking at the stuff I have over here. Lord of the Ring, Hostage Negotiator. I got the big, huge box set for that. I might do that. Then, when I get things finally settled and the internet right and everything like that, I like to do some more complex things and just kind of leave it on the table and then film it, do live parts, film live parts. So half of it will be live, half of it, especially things that may take, multiple hours. I don't want to sit here for multiple hours. But I like to play for a little bit, then come back, leave, do my other things I got to do, come back to it, and do stuff like that. Let's see. Okay, we had Matthew being inappropriate. And Robert said, geez, show a little respect, Matthew. You are who you are. I think you should keep the Night of the Living Dead. You painted it so well. Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. Actually, I sent that copy of the gray I painted to Ricky Royal, my dear friend. I don't think he liked the game very much, but I sent it to him and I painted it for him. And I painted all the zombies and stuff like that and some of the main heroes of it. And I said, here, I wanted to do something because, you're a good friend. And I had 2 copies, so I got to repaint that. Only this time I think I'm going to do something a little bit more different. I think zombies. That's so cool. And play the soundtrack. Creepy fun. Includes my coworkers. Rob, do you have any old Magic cards? The old Magic cards I have alpha and beta cards that I have kind of locked up. And those I'm kind of waiting on to sell. But as far as Magic right now, I think I have the Final Fantasy stuff. Do I? And something, I've been playing a lot more card games, but I've been playing them by myself. And the game there's a couple of games that I really, really like. And then I got I got the tank game coming. Trading card market is in the middle of a move, so I'm not bothering them. So I'm letting poor Steve, he's a Bills fan. We were texting each other last night because I wanted to see his team win. Because the rest of my family, well, most of my family are Bills fans. And I should do this. I mean, it's a roll and write print and play game. I mean, Toby does great work, and I always say, well worth it. Trying to think what else I had for you guys. Yeah, because I'm going to be putting together some really, really nice stuff. But it's going to kind of be mishmash all over the place. The one thing that I keep on arguing with myself is whether I should keep my Frostgrave collection, which is insane. And I'm looking at some of that in there now. But, Dungeons of Dragmar, my God. I'm going to put together some decent boxes. And then I'm going to have everything condensed to what I want to do and how I want to do things. And I'm going to concentrate on those games. And if newer games come in that can fit that mold, then fantastic. Maladum, I'm looking to get the 2 expansions and maybe doing something with that a little bit. I'm on the fence as far as keeping core space. And I have so much of it. But I'm really arguing with myself over that one. I think I might just keep it. Because I like the terrain. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We always do, right? But I mean, that's the game plan, kind of changing how things go. I kind of think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wonder if I should do Dungeon of Quest again. Yeah, I got to clean up these shelves. I got to clean up this table again. I've been working out here a bit, trying to get some stuff done. Yeah, just I'll get it all figured out. I always do. I always do. And you know, like I said, we're gonna take a run at it. But yeah, it is a nice game. That's why I keep it in there. I think you know, sticking with February 1st as the first phase. That's a Sunday. Um, you know, coming on in the morning, having everything set up the night before, and trying to kind of do a little bit and see how that works out. Um, and try to do things on Sundays and Thursdays. And if I do that, I think we'll do all right, and we'll see how it goes. We'll just take it a little at a time. We just need to get a little bit more of that equipment, and if we get that, I think we're in good shape, and we can kind of progress to where we need to be. I'm going to try to get this all figured out. Matter of fact, I'm going to Best Buy today. Just get everything all priced up again, and try to figure, you know, cut some corners, but make sure that we get it really done well. So there you go. Whew. Go Hawks, monster. Go Hawks. And then I got the new Wingspan expansion. My grandson and I have been looking at all the birds. We really like that. I'll tell you, Stonemeyer games, dear God, that guy he's special. He really is. Really is a special dude. Just knows what he's doing. All right. I think that covers everything. It's 8:47. I've got some things to do. I'm going to take it easy today after a long evening of just complete and utter torture and agonization. And then now we'll see what happens next week. And then we'll go from there. And then we got the winter break coming up, so I got a few weeks where I'm going to kind of relax because there's going to be no hockey. And just nice and easy, right? Nice and easy. What would you get? See, I can't even get rid of Star of Icaros because that piece of garbage is. You gotta have the 1.5. You know, they ruin any value of the old game. If you ever want to get rid of the old game, it's completely useless because they had to come out with a 1.5 version. I mean, it's just, I can't stand when companies do that. If you can't get it right, I understand updating things and stuff like that, but don't make it where you got to pay for it. And that's where it gets a bit much. Oh, what's this? Target. Your new weekly ad is here. 25% off all area rugs. Wow, Ollie's. So I'm gonna go take a shower, go enjoy my day. I think we've covered it all, my dear friends. I think we've got it all figured out. So the way it's gonna go, either next week or the end of this week, we're going to have a small auction. It's going to be mishmash. It's going to be board games. It's going to be video games. It's going to be comic books. It's going to be equipment. It's going to be all kinds of things. So we can just get over the top and get the things that we need. Okay? At some point during this week, I'm going to come on and try to do a game that is, I'd say takes about 30 minutes. I'm going to try to do a little baseball highlights, 2045. So we're going to try to come live and do that, kind of test because I'm going to test the setup. It may not be good because we don't have the internet in place, but February 1st, we're going to try to start getting things where they need to be. So there's going to be a bunch of test things in between. So just be aware, we are trying to push forward, and we're going to start phase 1 on February 1st. Then when the new internet, that'll be phase 2. That's where we're going to try to be a little bit more detailed in what we do. And then phase 3, see what the response is, see how it goes, and decide what to do from there. And I think that kind of works. And we'll figure everything from there. All right, my dear friends. I'm tired. I'm going to go spend time with my grandson playing Animal Crossing. We have a lot of work to do out on our island. Love you all. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And until next time, it's your old pal Rob. You never know. I might come on tomorrow since I'm off tomorrow. Or I might be working out here cleaning things up. I don't know. One of many things can happen. That's for doggone sure. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We shall see you soon. This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints. Discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.